Hey everybody, Jose Palomino here with another episode of Business Growth on Purpose. And today's guest is Joanna Chanis. And Joanna works with owners, leaders, executives in a wide variety of industries, helping them really find the clarity and the focus they need to drive new growth. So listen closely as Joanna joins us right now. Welcome, Joanna, to Business Growth on Purpose.
Thank you, Jose, for having me. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So Joanna, if you could just for our audience give us a little context on what you do and who you do it for.
I am a revenue growth and sales expert and specialist. I go into companies and help them grow their revenue and their profitability while reducing stress for their employees and their leadership. I deal with C-suite, VPs, and entire sales teams. I also serve mid-level established entrepreneurs, both male and female, and I work across all industries to help them expand and scale their business using the same methodology that I use for the companies. So I serve everyone in a similar way, but I serve many different types of people and I work across every single industry from entertainment to healthcare to technology to the mortgage industry to real estate to design. And it keeps it fresh and exciting. And I'm happy to say that 100% of my clients are over goal and profitable, and they are in down industries.
Wow, that's fantastic. And one thing that you said, and it really just piqued my interest right away. You said you do, so first of all, it's a worthy objective to do what you do for them and helping them do that. But then you said something very interesting. You said you do it in a way that reduces stress. So
Mhm.
generally, when you think about growth, about driving sales, driving revenue, getting growth,
Mhm.
you don't usually associate that with the reduction of stress.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of curious how you call that out very specifically. So I just want, if you
Yeah.
could just expand on that a little bit. How do you get that kind of exciting growth, being over 100% year over year, all
Mhm.
that stuff, and do it in a way that actually isn't more stressful?
Well,
It
you're
feels a little
happier, right?
counterintuitive. Excuse
Well,
me?
you're happier. The point of life is to be joyful. And I learned that the hard way. I have a corporate background. I never graduated from college, actually lied about it to get my first job. So I like David Geffened myself and then I got it. And I was like, oh boy. And I had really, really great experience working for a Japanese company for 12 years, learned a lot. And then I became an entrepreneur when I became a mother. And I learned on the job and I learned that I could always make money and I could always be profitable, but I was so incredibly stressed.
Mm,
I was so stressed every day. I was chasing, like you said, you know, going for it, going for it, going for it. And then the universe gave me a wake up call and I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2019. And I decided that I was going to do something radical and live with my tumor for 10 weeks by choice and change how I approached problems. I could always make money and I was always going to be successful. That wasn't the problem anymore. The problem was me.
mm.
And by default, I developed this methodology, not intentionally. I'd love to think, Jose, that I had this like, a stoic experience. No, I was scared. Can I swear? No, I can't swear. Can I swear? A
We
little
get
bit?
it though.
Okay. Yeah. I was having that experience, right? And I lived with it for 10 weeks and it was my greatest teacher. And when I came out, and I am happy to say is cancer free and everything is great, and I had a second chance, I decided that I was going to approach things differently. And I developed by default this methodology and I started to live my life like that. And people noticed, people around me noticed, businesses around me. I'm very active in business and with entrepreneurs and in corporate. And people started to say, "Hey, will you come in and talk to my team?
Mm,
Tell them how you did it." And so I was like, "Well, I should probably develop a formal process." And I've done this everywhere from companies to SAP to I have an entrepreneur who's a nurse who has a $450,000 side hustle with me.
okay.
Okay, so I use the same methodology where I am. I see the people I identify, and my goal. is for them to have an amazing quality of life and for them to reach their potential. And I know it's possible. So my approach is completely different. And I can't tell you really what it is because then that's my secret sauce.
That's your secret sauce, of course.
I go into companies and I'll sit with CEOs and they'll say, but how are you going to do it? And I'll say, well, that's my job, but I'm going to guarantee the results. And I'm going to guarantee that your people are going to love me and they're going to love themselves, which is even more important. And so I really get to the core of seeing everyone. And I believe innately that people are good and we're here to all help each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I focus on fundamental steps in this order. No matter what the target is, I don't care if there's product, I don't care if there's content, I don't care if there's a recession, I don't care who's president. I'm going to make it work. And the way we make it work is about getting clear and getting your life in order in these categories, no matter what job you have in this order. Health, philanthropy, relationships, and the byproduct is your business. That's the last thing. And they say, well, what about the number? I'm a numbers person. I ran a $1.6 million restaurant for pizza place. I sold a $2 product with no alcohol. And I know profit. I know how to work on pennies. I know margins. I sold 250,000 to $1 million stuff. I get it. But business is business, and business only works long term. And true success is if you can get yourself right. I don't care if your quota is $50,000 or $5 million, it's the same approach. And that my range of experience from being an entrepreneur and the corporate and my best and biggest clients are my kids. I have
Right.
two high achieving, intense. I'm a single mom, and they are my original clients, and I tested things out on them and on myself. Everything I teach my clients and I share, I try on myself first to make sure it works. And I get up every day. I probably work, if I tracked it, about 80 hours a week, and I know I don't feel like I'm working ever.
Well, you're doing what you
So
love. So
I do what I love.
that's the
Yep.
key. So
Yep.
so interesting. So a couple of things that pop out right away. One was just the word clarity. I love
Mm-hmm.
that word, and I
Mm-hmm.
find that when I walk into an organization that's struggling, mostly it could be externalities, it could be all kinds of factors, but usually it's the fog of war. They're like fuzzy. They don't know what's going
They're
on.
confused.
They're
They're
confused,
confused.
right? And they're stressed out by being confused because they don't feel they have control. But then you focus on health and you paired that with philanthropy.
I don't pair it. So I want you to visualize this as a champagne tower.
Okay.
Okay. Because life is always a little better with the little ships. So picture the champagne tower and you're filling the first glass, and that's health. And then it trickles into the next layer and it's philanthropy. And then it trickles into the next layer and it's your guests can't see me, but I have my hands, right? I'm giving you the
No,
visual.
we're capturing this on YouTube as well, so we'll see
Okay, lovely.
you.
So then your relationships, and it starts with the relationship with yourself, and then it pours into your business. So everything works like that. And what I find really fascinating is it's not like I do micro workshops where I'll go into a C-suite or teams and I say, okay, we're going to pick one thing and it's 90 day. It's like a little micro burst. But my clients that work with me, I become a line item in their business. I basically come on as if I own the business myself. I put
Okay.
myself in their feet. The first thing I say is, you're not spending any money. I think people are shocked because I like very, very high end things. I'm a luxury brand, I'm a luxury girl. But the first thing I do is say, we're not spending anything. Let's get clear. Let's get out of the fog. Okay. Just like you said. And I get a grasp on what is real. And then I go back and I start with how they want their life to be 5 years from now on a Saturday. And we walk through that day in detail. And then we get very, very clear about directions in those 4 categories. And that way I build a plan just for them. So it becomes very simple. Life becomes less stressful because you only have to ask yourself one question no matter what comes up. Is this bringing me closer to where I want to be 5 years from now? Or if I if is it bringing me further? And if it's bringing you further, then the answer is no, you don't do it. And if it's bringing you closer, you do it, right? And when you have this complete plan in these categories, and if you feel lost or stressed or overwhelmed, you just take a look at it, and it's your roadmap. So it's a little bit like Waze, right? You're putting your destination in, and you've got like your car gassed up, you've got like your snacks, you've got your water, you know where you're going to stop along the way, but you might, you don't know exactly, you can only see 100 feet in front of you,
Right.
right? But you know where you want to go. Okay. And I approach life like that. And so my clients are, they're, I guess one of them described it. I never know what's going to come out of your mouth. I'm like, yep, that's the point. And I, we have so much fun, but we're serious. I'm equal parts funny and equal parts serious. And I never joke about money. And I believe that women should have, and I learned the hard way, their own financial independence. I got divorced after a very long time. And the best thing my former husband did was not pay me what I deserved. I sold my diamond ring. I started this business and I never looked back.
Wow.
I made $250,000 in the first 9 months, just on my own. Okay. And I am fearless. And I take that fearlessness and I feel very empowered and able to bring that same energy to my people. So you asked me before we started this if I motivate people. I don't motivate anybody. I don't think anybody can be motivated. If you need to be motivated, I'm not your person.
Okay.
I only work with motivated. I think I work with disciplined people.
Well, I love that statement there. It's a very powerful distinction, right? That you only work with motivated people. Right away, that's again, there's a lot of like binaries and things you've described, right? Like, does this bring me closer to my 5-year goal or not? That's binary, yes or no. In this case, are you motivated already? Yes or no? Because if not, you don't qualify to work with me, in a sense, is what you're saying, because that's a different job.
You
But
can't even get to me. My team won't even give you an appointment.
mm-hmm.
Okay. Like it just, I'm here to serve. I'm, I have one rule when people work with me, just one. What do you think it is?
Wow, this I can think of a few things, but I mean, to me, it sounds like no, but like you would need people to be really present in what they're doing and willing to try and to take risks, like to try something that's uncomfortable.
That's yes, that's accurate, and all those things are right. So that's a good guess. But I only have one rule: you cannot complain because I don't
Oh,
care.
okay.
I don't care, and guess what? Nobody else cares.
Right.
So we have a very solution based approach to challenges because people get comfortable, everything's going right, get comfortable. There's nothing worse than being comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You comfortable, you die. Okay, you need to get up and you need to keep going, and things are going to come up because to whom much is given much is expected, and that's how we learn. And when there's a challenge, and my clients, the way people work with me, they work with me one-on-one, they meet with me once a week in person, not in person, in Zoom, and they
Mm-hmm.
have text access to me. I mean, I say Monday through Friday, but these people
Right.
become family. So
Sure.
if something comes up, and we know we have the steps on how to manage it because we all have very big lives. I travel all the time. They travel all the time. Everybody's busy. We're mothers, we're fathers, their fathers, their mothers, their daughters, their sisters, their all these things. I know my clients' children. I am really invested in their happiness, and that's why their businesses and that's why their businesses are thriving, no matter what industry they're in. I have one in the mortgage industry right now. We knew what was going to happen. Okay, we knew because we looked 90 days, 6 months ahead.
Sure.
Sat down. She brought me into her whole team, her family, her husband, her children, and everybody was like, game on. They're having their best year ever. Tell me how that, and we're talking millions, okay? And she's a mom of 4 kids, okay? Like, so and she's happy. went to dinner with her husband last night. She's sending me pictures because it's all about, if you're looking for balance, there's no balance. You are your business. You
Right.
are your business. Right before I got on a call here, one of my daughters, who's a pre-med at Boston College, I don't care. You get up, everybody works there. You're taking the job. Like everybody shows up. You have to do something of value every day. I don't care if it's, I treat my philanthropic clients that I do for free. I have a philosophy on discounting. None of my clients discount. I never discount. Never. I sold $1.6 million in pizza. I never discounted one slice. Not one. I fed every homeless person that needed food for free. You need help, I will help you. But I will not discount my worth. If you don't want to pay me what I'm worth, I'm not your girl.
Right. Then
You're
you
shopping.
either you
You're
don't
shopping.
understand, people don't understand what that value is, or they're the wrong kind of person, one way or
They're
the
the
other.
wrong kind of person.
Right.
If you don't see the value, you are automatically the wrong kind of person. And I'm not a fit for everybody. I'm not everybody's flavor, and I don't want to be.
Right. Right.
And so what the way I approach that is, if a nonprofit, and I sit on two nonprofit boards, I treat them like paying clients. I work for them for free. I might even work harder for them.
Mm.
Okay. I might. Okay. Their teams have the same access to me. We make the same number, because philanthropy is how this all started for me. I knew how to grow revenue and to gain profit because I helped build a school in Boston, because we lived in Boston. Our kids didn't have public school, is very hard to get into. It's a lottery. And we had a building, and we got together, a group of families, we built a school, and we needed to pay for it.
Wow.
So that was my first, and I was so passionate about it. And I take that same passion into business.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this question, Joanna, because you, and especially because of the not-for-profits, which I certainly can relate to as well. But not every leader you run into, they may say, yeah, health, I get it. I need to get healthy. I need to find a way to do that for myself. Relationships, I want great relationships. And of course, I want my business to grow. But you put the philanthropy on that second layer of the champagne glasses, which I think is a great visual there. Is that something that you find in your experience, the people you're dealing with already there, or is that something you have to introduce to them as a high value priority?
Well, it's interesting. I think people don't really think about it unless they're really coached or mentored through it. And it's not like, oh, okay, philanthropy, pick a philanthropy. It's not like that. We spend about a month getting to the core of what's important to them. And philanthropy, part of it is financial, and then part of it is your time, and part of it is your vision. And I have one corporate client that keeps me on retainer. They just keep me on retainer all year for their team. And I met them through a charity. So
Okay.
I tend to meet people in environments that they get to see me, and they hear me, and they are like, what is it that you do? And I have a hard time describing what I do. I'm the fixer, like in that movie, I'm the fixer.
Okay.
So I don't talk about a lot of the clients. I don't name a lot of the clients that I work with, because it's privileged.
Right.
It's confidential.
Sure.
And, I'm the fixer. I go in very discreetly. I have my complete social media plan and all that, but I don't ever really kind of allude to who I work with exactly, unless a client is asking me to do that because of the platforms that I'm on LinkedIn and on Instagram. But I don't really care if anybody knows what I'm doing, because they know what I'm doing.
Right. Right. That's very,
But
very.
I'm a publicist's nightmare. And my publicist is like, please. My publicist is like, and I was like, I can't.
Wow. Well, Joanna, as I look, let's just go to a little bit about as we're coming to the bottom of our time here, but I do want to dig in a little bit on the business side, because such an emphasis I see here on values, on people, on that. So is there a gulf between that kind of thinking and the business, or is the business a continued extension of it's about people?
It's an extension. of all of this methodology that I infuse into
Mm,
people. It's an infusion. It's a step by step on how to add, and it doesn't all happen together.
mhm,
I believe in micro movements. I'm a student of Pilates for 18 years, and I feel like you can't go gangbusters because then it's not sustainable. What I'm doing is really giving you little micro movements,
mm.
micro nudges, starting with very simple things. And those become part of your day, and we work in 90 days at a time. And then a year later, you're like, what happened? What happened? We made $684,000 in extra profit last year. We had no product. I'm like, yep, you did. So the business is just the joy at the end.
Mm.
The success of, and you can probably see it in my face. Like when I feel for them, like but it's really the relationships and what we've built and the time that we spend together and the problems that we solve and the people that we can help. And we just make a lot of money doing it. So what's better than that?
That's fun. It sounds like fun.
Fun. I
And it
have
sounds
fun.
like
Look at me. I'm Greek. We invented fun. Okay.
there you go. And it's also less stressful when you're having fun. It's
This is
good.
it.
It's good.
We smile, we laugh, and it's like, oh, we lost a client. We didn't lose anything. You can never lose anything that's not yours. Whatever's
Okay.
intended for you, you will always get. You just got
That's
to be
good.
clear about what you want, and
Right.
you got to get up every day, and you got to align your actions with your intention. And that's what I do. And I go in, I give them a plan, and then I hold their hand for get there, and then maybe we have lunch, and then maybe it turns into dinner, maybe it's a pool day. It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. Well, Joanna, this has been a really motivational. I know that's not the primary, but it is. It's exciting. It's good stuff. Uh,
Inspirational,
Inspirational. That even
hopeful.
better. That's better. I like it. I like it a lot. Joanna, thank you so much for stopping by Business Growth on Purpose. We really appreciate it. So if somebody listening said, gee, this sounds like it is my cup of tea, and I'd like to know more about it, where should somebody go on the web to find out more about you?
www.joannachanis.com. You can put it in the thing. And my team, I have the most amazing team. Um, I reply, they copy me on every email. I am very much in the business. We communicate, and I would love to hear from you. Reach out. I'd love to talk to you. You can follow me on Instagram if you want a little bit more of the social stuff. And if you want more of the business and life stuff, it's LinkedIn. So I'm active on both. And I guess I'm on Facebook too, but I don't know. My team puts it, I don't even know how to, Mark Zuckerberg, help. I don't know. I don't know how to use this. So there you go.
Okay, well, very good. Joanna Chanis, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Business Growth on Purpose. If you like the show, hit subscribe and leave us a review to help other people find the podcast. And if you're ready to take the next step in driving intentional growth for your business, come check out what we're doing at valueprop.com. We've developed industry-leading programs and systems to help B2B owners take control of their growth. Until then, thanks for listening to another episode of Business Growth on Purpose.